What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another edition of Action Sunday. And this week, you know what? I'm going to be looking at Predator. And there's a perfectly good reason, because I was originally going to do Above the Law with Steven Seagal, because I had that ready to go. But unfortunately, something happened. I couldn't find it anywhere, so unfortunately I'm going to, you know what they say, the show must go on, so I'm decided to move the pre-review up to this week and do another Seagal movie maybe next week, okay? But again, speaking of Schwarzenegger, you still have time to vote for two movies. It's either Terminator 2 or Total Recall. One of these movies I will be reviewing for my 200th episode, okay? Okay, I might extend it, okay? So there you go. But anyway, let's get on to Predator. What is there to talk about Predator? Everyone knows this movie. It's this big action adventure set from the, I call it the Joel Silver universe, back in, that came out in 1987. You know the story. You got Arnold Schwarzenegger, another Arnold Schwarzenegger, keep that in mind. Remember, there's another character he played called John Matrix from Commando, both set in the same universe, and of course, the fictional country of Valverde has come up. So keep that in mind. So we got to that. But anyway, but instead of John Matrix, he plays a guy named Dutch, and of course, leads a team of commandos into the jungle, and then of course, somehow there's something evil in the jungle that's hunting them. And of course, you know where this goes. Okay, it's the most popcorn quotable action flick fun fest with all the trimmings involved, where it's from the famous shootout. You got Jesse Ventura being Jesse Ventura, and of course, seriously, this movie is so quotable, okay, where it's something from "you want ugly motherfucker" or "this will make you turn into a sexual tyrannosaurus." My God, I still do that pretty good, even though I hate Ventura himself because he pissed off Chris Kyle's widow. Fuck you, Ventura. Anyway, so yeah, you get the whole story, but what is it about it that everyone looks back finally on it and just say, wow, it's cool? Well, I think it's because Shane Black wrote a very good story, and he created this world and that we can all know and love, and just essentially it's just built for a guy like Schwarzenegger, okay? No nonsense. He's, balls to the wall. He knows what the hell he's doing. And of course, he doesn't care if he's the last man standing. He wants to save the world and essentially just figure out what the hell is this thing that's hunting him, okay? And yes, I'll admit, I loved the creature effects. I loved the visuals. I just really loved how the whole thing when it comes to the Predator. And of course, it's a damn shame because the guy that played the Predator under the suit is no longer with us. He died super young. He was only 35. That sucks. But hey, that guy still left a everlasting impression, playing possibly one of the greatest, I'd say one of the coolest creature villains in the history of cinema. Okay, right up there with the Alien Queen from Aliens, and my goodness, I can go on and on. But still, and of course, how funny, how appropriate I mentioned that because as you know, the Predator franchise would crossover with the Alien franchise, but that's later on the timeline. But let's see, what else can I say about Predator that I really like about it? Like I said, I love the star powering it. You got Carl Weathers. I love Carl Weathers. You got Jesse Ventura. I still, even though I love his line, but I can't stand him nowadays. And then, of course, I don't know if anybody knew this, but even the writer himself actually plays a character in the movie. I bet you all didn't know that. And yeah, again, if you have that much star power, a very minimal cast, you got yourself a blockbuster. And John McTiernan, kudos to him, because this is another thing that makes the whole Silver universe come together, because this is the same guy that directed Die Hard. So yeah, you got your money's worth when you got the same director of that, and seriously, no matter what happens, this is the purest of 80s films, just in its solid liquid form. And seriously, I don't think anyone would ever hold a candle to this original movie. Sure, we got a shitty, somewhat remake, almost 20-something years later, or 30 years later. The one came out in 2018. Also written by Shane Black, but still, I hate to say this, buddy, but I personally prefer this one because I don't know if this was supposed to be a reboot or like another story in the franchise, because let's see, Predator 2, I don't know. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm eventually when I get to it, I'm gonna tell you this. All I know is that not as good as this one, but yeah, I get it. Sequels and reboots don't hold up and can't hold a candle, but as long as you have the right tools and the right formula, I think it would hold up. I just feel like things just fell flat. But when it comes to in other words, I'm just saying you can't beat the originals, okay? And what they did back in '87 was just top, okay? I really enjoyed it, okay? Yeah, not much else I can say. If you've never seen this movie, you gotta give it a watch, okay? Of course, obviously, like I said, the one-liners are there. The minimal set piece, you got the jungle. It's perfect. It's atmospheric. It's also chilling. It's the perfect saying that essentially turns it from the perfect action film into like a pseudo slasher film. And of course, like I said, one of the best villains or creature villains I've seen in cinema ever. And yeah, seriously, everything that you can see is there. My one knock on this movie is I wish there was more, okay? I wish there was something more that can put it over the top. I really wish we could see more of these character developments amongst some of these. Mainly the focus was just Dylan and Dutch because those two were the ones that are essentially kind of like the head of the mission. Everyone else is just another body for the killer to kill. All right. Other than that, it's still a fine movie, and I absolutely recommend it if you've never seen it. Seriously, if you have not seen it, go, buddy, find this movie. All right. And with that in mind, I'm gonna give the Predator a hearty. Okay. That because anything more than that, I think would put I don't know. Like I said, over time, I think maybe eventually we will get another good Predator reboot. But of course, I personally maybe I'll get to the Predator reboot sometime in the near future. I will definitely get to Predator 2 sometime in the near future. So that does for this week. Let me know what you think. Thumbs up this video, subscribe to my channel, and stay tuned for some more awesome and exciting videos.